What are your thoughts on the SE? Should it be abolished? Should it be restructured? Should they keep it? What are your thoughts?
I think it should be abolished. I think
Good day. Hi, it's Miss Darcel of Faith and Works Private Tutoring, and welcome to another episode of Electrify Education. And today, in our Meet the Tutor series, we have Miss Germel Lewis of Prodigy Kids. Welcome, Jamel.
hi, thank you for having me.
Okay, so just give us a brief introduction about who you are and your organization.
Okay. My name is Germel Lewis. I have been teaching for over 17 years now, the preschool division, early childhood. My company is called Prodigy Kids. We do online and in-home tutoring services.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, so let's get to the questions. All right. What's one thing you wish you had known when you began your business? Your
I would
tutoring.
definitely have to say that I honestly wish that I had known it would have been such hard work and it would be something that you have to be persistent about. There are no off days, really and truly.
Yeah,
It's a constant flow of work at all times.
and your mind has to be thinking of new and creative
It is
ideas. Yeah, it's more work than
continuously,
university, in my opinion, because you're on all the time.
constantly.
All the time, all the time. Okay, what was your biggest failure in business and what did you learn from it?
Biggest failure, um, trusting persons, becoming too easily accessible for persons to always need and want something from you.
Right.
That has been a very hard lesson that I had to learn. I am very trusting
Hmm.
towards persons. So, they will come to me with a situation or a problem, and I'll try my very best to assist them, only to realize when now I need help, they're gone.
Nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found.
Wow.
So that was a hard lesson.
Yeah.
I started following this quote because I honestly believe it's true. When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Believe them. Definitely.
Yeah. Not everyone
Definitely.
trust.
True. Very, very true. And it's
Yes.
always the one closest to you. They always
Yeah.
say, the one who betrays you is not your enemy, it's usually a friend.
It's your friend. Yes. That is
Yeah. Yeah.
true.
And that's a really hard lesson.
It is.
I don't like to learn that. I don't like to learn that lesson at all. I'm like, why? Why you of all people?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
It hurts you the most.
Yeah. What advice would you give someone who wanted to pursue a career similar to yours?
Advice. Um, if you're going to start doing this, make sure it's something that you love. Do not come into a profession, any
Mm-hmm.
profession, and think it's going to be a bed of roses all the time. It's not.
Right. Right.
Make sure you have the patience, the tolerance,
Yeah.
and ensure it's something that you really and truly love. That's the best advice I think I can give anyone.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't want to come into this and then just be grumpy.
True. You're
Or
gonna
while
lose your love. Yeah.
you don't like it at all. So you become, what's,
Jaded and
yes, yeah.
yeah.
So
And especially when you're working with kids, they can sense that energy
they do.
and they
Kids
know when you're
and
being sincere
yeah.
or not.
Yes. So
And they are
make
very honest and they will tell you.
at the other times too. So um,
Okay. What are
so
some
it's
of the yes. What are some of the best resources that have helped you along the way? So like books, coaching, YouTube videos.
okay. I use a lot of Jack Hartman. Is one of my faves on YouTube. He has
Right.
a wider range of educational videos, kids.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to a lot of TED Talks, teacher TED Talks, not just random
Right.
TED Talks, teacher TED Talks, because these teachers usually have so much experience
Hmm.
in the field and they're just sharing their stories. And honestly, you can learn from them. Um, I also tend to tap into my family resource because my family, there are 7 teachers in my family. So I tend to tap into them quite often. And they've
Right.
been doing it for so long.
Hmm.
Some were principals, some had their own schools. So I tend to tap
Wow.
into that resource quite
Excellent.
often.
Very good. Great for you. How convenient. And right a phone call away.
Yes.
How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I navigate this? All right. What's one common myth about tutoring that you would like to debunk? Tutoring and lessons, as we like to call it.
I would definitely say that it's a lot of people think it's easy. It's something, that anyone can do. And I don't believe that. I have learned it's not because education itself is something that's continuously changing.
True.
So if you are not on top of that, tutoring, lessons, teaching, anything in this profession that has to do with educating students is
Mm-hmm.
going to be tricky. It's not,
Definitely.
you just say, okay, let me open a lessons place and you figure out, oh, I did this subject in school. I have a degree in this. So, I can go in front of students and just
Yes,
teach.
exactly.
No, it doesn't work like that because you're going to have students who are not going to understand
True.
what you're teaching. And then that's when you have to tap into your patience because
For real.
they will continuously ask questions, especially if they don't understand exactly what it is you're teaching them.
Yeah.
So, yes, teaching on the whole is not easy. It's not for the weak, I
Yeah.
should say.
And a lot more goes into teaching than just standing up in front of a class, or in this case, sitting right in front of
Yeah.
a computer and saying 2 plus 2 is 4. Right? You have to engage them. You have to make sure they remember. So it's always a constant revision, and it's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot, parents. It's a lot. It's a
It's not.
lot. All right. What are your thoughts on reopening school during a pandemic? Right, we're
Well,
slated to start, I think, the first batch is April the 26th,
I think the 15th. I'm not sure.
15. Right, right.
Um, I have been back and forth with the idea. To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
I've had this discussion with colleagues at work. Um, I think if a proper plan is put into place,
Mm-hmm.
schools can open. I honestly believe so. You don't have to have all the children in school at the same time. Obviously not. We
I
can't do that.
agree. I agree.
But I believe if you have a staff of more than 10 or even a preschool, you don't have as
Mm-hmm.
much teachers, but it can be handled and it can be managed. You
True.
can, you can like, for example, if you have 3 standard 3 classes, just that the standard threes come to school alone for
Right.
like 2 days a week, because then you would have the entire school
Cool. Yeah.
to, to, um, to
Space
space them
them
out.
out. Right, right.
Yeah,
To follow all the protocols.
Exactly. And you could have like 3 teachers in one area with this class, 3 teachers somewhere else. So it, to me, I think it can be managed and handled once it's planned out properly.
True.
I think so.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think that they need to let all the stakeholders involved, aka parents,
Yes.
teachers, people on the ground, the students, the public know what's happening. Parents and guardians, right? What's happening? What do you have planned? Because I feel everything is behind closed doors, and then they just make an announcement. Hey, you have to
Yeah.
send children to school, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
I wish there's more transparency
Yes.
into
I
what's
agree.
happening, into the planning. All right. How did COVID initially affect you business wise, and how were you able to pivot?
Usually I had face-to-face classes,
Yeah.
right? So we had our own classroom. So when the COVID hit, when the pandemic hit, I had to switch everything to online,
Hmm.
which initially started really rough because to settle a child to do work online is a difficult task. It's
Yeah.
really difficult. And then you have parents who are sitting down with these children, stressing
Oh,
them, and then therefore stressing you.
yeah.
It was a complete
It was a
stress. It
steep
was stress,
learning curve. Yes, definitely.
a lot of stress. But I finally got parents to realize, you know what? Yes, we have this handle. You don't need to sit with them.
Mm-hmm.
I can deal with them. We can get our work done. It's in the allotted time and we'll be good. You don't have to sit and be watching over them because when you do that, you make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They're fidgety, they're not focused, they're all over the place, which makes my job harder.
Right.
And it's more time because by the time you settle them down, they're already tired from all the fidgeting, the fidget. So you have to settle them. So I just tell my parents, we'll manage. We can do this.
Yeah.
We get it done.
What age group do you tutor?
Um, we go from 5 to
Five.
15.
Right. Good. All right. What would you see? Okay, so we're talking about this curriculum now, my favorite topic. Do you think the current curriculum is outdated? And if so, what subjects would you like to see included?
I think it is. I think our curriculum is completely outdated.
Hmm.
I don't think I know a school that does STEM. I don't know if that's a thing in our country as yet. STEM.
Besides physics, chem, bio, and like form five.
Yeah. Well, at
Well, it's
least for
only
the
form
smaller
five.
kids, the kids, primary school.
Right. True.
I don't know if we were at that stage yet.
Hmm.
I think STEM is a beautiful thing. And I believe at the young age, schools should put that in their curriculum as part of the curriculum. I think that's something that they should strongly look into.
I agree. And I also
So
noticed coding is also a really big thing
exact coding,
internationally.
many things, yes.
Business. So
Start
I
from a
think,
young age, get these
yeah.
kids more engrossed.
Hmm.
Yeah. If you ask a child now, okay, when you grow up, what it is you want to be, what are the most common answers you get? A teacher, a doctor,
Doctor, lawyer,
a lawyer. We need
fireman,
to
policeman.
exactly start telling them, you know what? There so much more
True.
out there that you can do. And how do we encourage them? How do we get that point across?
Exactly. Even something like content creation, like video,
Yes,
graphic design,
design, all these
I
things.
mean, YouTube is a big thing. Like they spend hours on YouTube. Let's
Yeah,
harness some of that energy into skills that so they can record their own videos.
exactly.
Who knows? You might have the next Steven Spielberg out here
You never
and
know.
it's undiscovered.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I
Uh,
think both of
uh-huh.
us jump somewhere.
Yeah. Some
Thing
like
is,
I've never used Pythagoras theorem ever. I have a one in maths. I've never used it. Nowhere, not
I
in the
just
bank,
walked into a
not in the passport
speaking.
office. I've never used it.
My cousin, I was having a conversation with one of my cousins, and she said, same thing, huh? Distinction in maths. And she's talking and she's saying, I don't think I've ever used any of these um, formulas that I
Formulas.
did
Yeah.
what I'm doing. But you know, if you ask me to sit down and do taxes or something, I'm totally confused. I have no idea what it is you are telling me. So she
Yeah.
was basically saying the basic things that, as adults we need should be taught at secondary level, you know, so we'll be able to come out into the world knowing, hey, taxes, mortgage, all these things. And I thought it was,
Real life things.
yeah.
Real
So
life
just
things.
add a
Hmm.
little push in the curriculum would be really good, I think.
I agree. All right. So in Trinidad, we have a secondary school entrance exam, right? SEA. What are your thoughts on the SEA? Should it be abolished? Should it be restructured? Should they keep it? What are your thoughts?
I think it should be abolished. I think, yeah, I think it's too much stress on
Wow.
children. I'm not saying not to give them an exam because you obviously need to know where they are at with their work,
Yeah. Progress,
like
like a progress
a
report
progress
something.
exam, assessments. I, one day, we put so much emphasis on this exam.
Hmm.
Mental health is a serious thing. I think doing
Yep.
that to children at this stage in life is it's horrible. It really is. It's stressful for them. It's stressful for the parents. Parents, in turn, now take it out on the kids.
Hmm.
You have to do well. If you don't do well, what's going to happen with you in life? And it's a whole
Hmm.
cycle that it's really horrible.
Hmm.
I honestly think a simple assessment. And if you do the assessment at the end of every term as a teacher, as a school, I think there is a solid chance that you will be able to know, okay, this child needs help with that, this child, and move from
Right.
there. Instead of giving them
Right.
this one exam on this one day to stress them out.
Hmm. Ooh,
I
I have a
strongly believe
question. What are your thoughts on prestige school, that title we like to use? What are your thoughts on those versus government schools for secondary school level? What about that? So should do. I see they're trying to review the Concordat.
but they are. I believe.
Yes, there's a committee. They're going to review Concordat. I'm not sure what they're going to review, but I saw it in a circular.
Okay,
So that's going to be interesting.
very interesting. Um,
What are your thoughts on that? Oh,
Prestige
let me
school.
just pop in. The Concordat, I think it was created in 1960, so it gives Catholic, um, from the Catholic school board, they are allowed to pick 10% that they want to select to come to their secondary schools, right? And mostly Catholic secondary schools are considered prestige. So you want to go a prestige school, not a government school. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
I prestige. Okay, what do you really get out of a prestigious school? That's your first question. I think you should ask. What is the benefit? Because to me, whether you go a prestigious school or a regular school, once the teacher is doing her job,
Or his.
are supposed to get the exact results.
True.
I don't see really and truly.
But I think there's a culture difference,
Yes, I
right?
would say
So
that.
it's definitely more rigid. Um, it's definitely reputation based. So
Yes.
you're representing the school, you're representing yourself. So there's a certain image that you have to uphold. Because I went to a convent, right? Have an accent. So you
At
know
the end of the
the
day,
behavior of a convent girl has to be
yes, yes. But at the end of the day, let us break it down. At the end of the day, I didn't go to a prestigious school.
mhm,
You went to a prestigious school. What are we doing?
the
What is
same thing.
what is our profession?
Teachers,
At the end of the day,
we still end up in the same the same
on
taxi going the
the
same
same
place.
road.
Yep.
Exactly. Exactly. You went to UE. I went to
Mhm.
UE.
Mhm.
I so honestly, I think it's just as you said, society, the name to say, okay, I went to a prestigious school, but at
Mhm.
the end of the day, we all kind of come back in the same pool
True.
because I know flight attendants who went to prestigious schools, and I have friends who didn't go to prestigious schools and are flight attendants doing the same job,
Yeah.
getting the same salary, you know.
True. So
So
yeah, I think it's time we could probably level the playing field.
yeah, you level the playing field. So as I say, once the teacher is doing what she is or he or she is doing and getting the results, I wouldn't stress my child and be like, okay, you have to go to this school. I want you to go to that. No, no.
Yeah, I think it's a culture of
Comes
this
down to the teacher and the parent. The
and the
teacher does what
principal.
she has to do in school. Me as the parent come home, do what I have to do to ensure at the end of the day, there is a I put out an individual into society who is mentally stable and
Mhm.
can, or I should say, a functioning
Right.
individual well
That
into society.
contributes to
Yes,
society in a positive way.
yeah.
Definitely, definitely. All right. So let's pivot away from all that serious stuff and let's get into the relax, fun questions. All right. So let's say you've won $10 million. What are you going to spend it on? It could be as
Okay.
frivolous or as serious as you want it to be.
I definitely would purchase a home.
Yep.
I would pay that mortgage off because that seems to be a lot of stress. I would definitely go on a world tour. There are
Yep.
certain countries that I would love to visit. I would go to a football match, a Manchester United football match. Oh, yeah, that would make it all worth the while. Um, I'll definitely put some away, of course,
Yeah.
some rainy days, and I would make investments.
True.
Yeah,
Good,
so
good.
yeah, make some
All
investments.
yeah. Okay. So you're stranded on a deserted island with food and water. What are three items you're bringing and why?
I definitely need my books because I love to read.
Hmm.
So I would definitely need a Laura Roberts or a JD Rob or something to get to pass the time. Um, hmm, my phone. But wait, you're not digital. I don't even have internet.
Don't
Shoot.
think too hard at it. Okay, so books, phone, that's fine.
Oh, and probably some matches. Yeah, because I don't think I'll be able to start a fire with two.
That makes a lot of sense. You could start a fire, you could cook with it. Fire is very important. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
All
Ooh,
right.
and bug repellents.
That's four.
Important.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Hmm. It's superpower. I think I would want to be telepathic mixed with
Hmm.
invisibility.
Interesting.
Because I'd want to read your mind, but I would also want, and this is going to sound so strange, but if I had that power, oh, and time traveling, yeah. Because if I had that power, if I had all of those powers combined, I would definitely go back in time.
Uh-huh.
I'd want to be invisible for a period of time,
Just to
like
be around.
in King Louis days and stuff, just to see
Yeah. What it
what
was
it
like.
really was like. Um,
Ancient pyramids. How were they built? I would
right,
love to know.
exactly. Yeah, I definitely would want to those powers combined. I'd want empathic ability just to be able to know what you're thinking. To be honest, yeah,
Cool,
I think I
cool.
would.
All right, and our last question. What's the best investment that you've made in yourself?
Um,
Be
I
it
honestly think
books, maybe something to relieve your stress, anything that you.
I think honestly my business.
Hmm.
I think that was one of my best investments. Um, well, the two ones that I own, I think, yeah, they were my best investments in myself. And I think going back to school, because I'm always trying to find something to do.
Right.
In this education path, I'm always trying to figure out, okay, because as I said, education is always evolving. So I'm
True.
always trying to be continuously updated with what is going on
Hmm.
in the real
Excellent.
world.
Great, great, great investments. Well, Jamel, thank you for joining us on the
For having
Electrify
me.
Education podcast.
Thank
It
you for
was a
having me.
pleasure,
Thank
right?
you.